Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing 21 things I no longer buy. This list is a personal list, so these are just the things that I and my family no longer buy. Maybe we once did, but here's where we're at right now. So first off, we have Band-Aids. This is something that I, as a mom, really don't like my kids having a minor injury and then coming and asking for a Band-Aid. And I feel like a lot of times they just use them as stickers more so. So we make our own Band-Aids. We have little pieces of gauze and you just put a piece of masking tape over it if it's really something that's worthy of one. But more often than not, I feel like it's better to have your blood actually coagulate and block off and let the airflow regulate the injury as it is. Next up, we have pajamas. This is a little bit of a controversial one. My kids will put on a new outfit at night after they've had their bath and they'll go to bed in that outfit and then they will have it on for the next morning. So I do think that's something that makes my life a little bit easier. And I just think a lot of times just an extra outfit change or 2 extra outfit changes per kid just really adds on the stress and doesn't make evenings go as smoothly as they could if you just put the kid in the outfit and when they wake up they're in their clothes for the next day. And if they're going to wear something like a dress or something that's a little bit, inconvenient to sleep in, then we'll put a base layer on and maybe put the dress on the next day. But I also don't believe in pajamas for myself or my husband. We wear like comfy clothes or sweats, and in the warmer months less so this is just kind of a personal belief. I don't like the pajamas only for sleep scenario. Next up, we have paper towels. This is something that we've really moved away from. I will discuss later in the video what we do for cleaning towels and such, but overall we don't do paper towels. I do keep 1 or 2 rolls in case there's like a dog accident, but other than that, we haven't used the rolls in more than a year, I would say. So that's something that I really find insignificant. Tote bags. This is something I don't buy reusable totes. I have 2 that I use that have like a cooler element for grocery shopping, and the rest I have 1 or 2 that we use when we're traveling or as an extra bag for groceries. If we're out, I'll put it in my main bag. But this is something that I really don't buy ever, even though there's some really cute ones out there. We get enough when we purchase items that I'll use those around the house or I'll donate some of them. We don't need that many, but we don't buy tote bags or reusable bags. I don't buy hair bands and bobby pins. I know it sounds gross, but I find enough of them around that I will just keep them and wash them off and then use them if I need them. But right now I have a pretty big collection of them, and at this point I've been using hair clips for my hair and I feel like I have less split ends because of it. I don't buy kids clothes. This is something that my mom and my mother-in-law and all the grandmothers and people with kids around us, we have received so many clothes for all the kids that at this point we even use them as hand-me-downs, and a lot of them don't ever get worn on the first or second round. We have so many clothes. I will maybe buy 1 or 2 things for their birthday or for a holiday, but other than that, unless it's something that's absolutely needed, we do not buy kids clothes. And also kids toys. This is something too that we receive enough gifts of, and we honestly find things everywhere, and just keeping things more minimal, we don't buy kids toys. If they want to buy a toy, they have their own money, and the younger ones it's a little bit of a different situation, but overall we don't buy them toys. Kitchen appliances, like blenders, or I don't do an Instant Pot, I don't do a rice cooker, I don't do a crock pot. I've been there and done that years ago, and I know that I don't use them enough to make them effective in my life. So the one thing I have an immersion blender I love, and I've been contemplating a blender. I once had a Vitamix that was great at the time, but I just can't use them enough to justify their existence in my kitchen. And also cleaning them is always a bit more tedious than just regular dishes. And there's always tools in the kitchen that can do that job with just 1 step more effort. So that's how I feel about that as of now. We don't buy processed food. We don't buy soda. We do not as much the soda, but the processed food. We do consume these things outside the home. I've tried to become less strict on this over the past years with my kids and not create as staunch boundaries on these. We try to not have sugar for them, but if there's a party or if we're going to someone else's house, I feel that that's their domain, and if my kids are gifted a snack, I'm not going to go out of my way to say no. I think it's also important for them to learn their limits in their body, about how they feel about consuming these things and the different states between that and maybe having a healthier snack. So I do think it is useful in that way, but we don't keep any of it in the house. We don't buy candy, we don't buy sugar things. We maybe have some sugar if we're gonna bake something very specifically, but overall we do not buy processed foods of any kind, even pre-made things. I always make everything and keep them just ingredients in our kitchen rather than already made substances. But the soda thing, we don't do soda, we do sparkling water if we're going to have some sort of mixer drink or the kids are going to have a special drink, but other than that we really don't buy any pre-prepared drinks either. And cleaning products, this is a big one. This is based on just my knowledge of the chemicals that are in them. It's really not good for us. I do have a housekeeper who cleans our house with her own products, so that's her deal. But for us, we don't bring in any Windex, we don't bring any general cleaners, any concentrates. I just use vinegar and water. I'm not a fan of essential oils, so we don't use those very much in the house. I do Dr. Bronner's pretty much for everything, or just a generic Castile soap. And if I want something to smell kind of fancy, I'll do a rind of a lemon or an orange and put that in there. I don't buy makeup, it's probably obvious, but this is a mix of just me being lazy and also the effort it goes into doing it. I don't feel like myself when I have it on. I do have a few pieces that I've had for too long that I keep for special occasions, and I did purchase one lip color that can be used as a cheek color from Tubes & Co., which is an eco-friendly brand that uses non-harmful products, and I have that in like a bright red, but the amount I use it is still just doesn't justify me ever purchasing them ever again. But overall I haven't had makeup in years and my skin does better without it. I don't buy any facial products. This is kind of a newer one. I'm using up what I have and what I've been storing for, I'd say, years. But I did use like a tallow lotion or salve this winter, and it was fine, but I just want to do an experiment and see if I don't do anything to my face except maybe cold water, what would happen. So I am going to be moving forward in that. And my skin's a little different right now just with postpartum, so as things even out and I start this experiment, I'll keep you posted on how it plays out. I don't buy any hair products. I do have a shampoo bar that I use, but other than that I'll just do like a cooking oil, like a little olive oil in the ends if it's really dry. But I just washed this crazy curly mess yesterday, and I have a comb I run through it. I don't have brushes anymore. I'm just doing combs for the curls, and it really does take care of my hair much better. I don't buy books. I am a big reader, and I'm not a Kindle fan. I won't get a Kindle or a Fire or any of those things. I love physical books, but I have enough of them to read, and I'm going through a lot of classics, so it takes a bit longer. I do read quite a bit from our library, or I'll request from other libraries in surrounding towns to get the books I would like to read. So it does take quite a while, and I have a reading list that I have to plan out when I'm reading what. But other than that, I still read a lot and I don't have to buy the books. I don't buy candles. This is something I like. I have a few beeswax candles I've had for a long time. We do have a few tea lights that we bought years ago that we bought in a big set that we use for Shabbat candles on Friday nights. And other than that, I just will light the beeswax candle once in a blue moon for the mood lighting. But with kids, I just don't think having candles is the best choice, at least with my kids. They're a little bit too fascinated. And with myself, I light them and leave the room and forget that I put them on. So it's a bad habit. But in the future, maybe we'll be purchasing these again. Laundry detergent, this is a new one I'm kind of doing an experiment on. I was using the 7th generation concentrate for a while, but now I'm moving on to using the Dr. Bronner's. We do have soft water set up in this house, so that makes it easier, I know, to have the clothes fully cleaned. I know some people say that if you have hard water, you can use the vinegar rinse with it, but as of now, I'm just using the Dr. Bronner soap and generous squirt with each load, depending on its size, and that's been working out well for us so far. Snacks. We don't buy snacks. We don't buy pre-prepared snacks. I don't like my kids to be asking for snacks all the time. We have fruit on hand if they're hungry, but I really try to dissuade the snacking culture, and we really emphasize meal times as a social time, as a filling your body with good food time. It is confusing for other kids when they come over. They want to know where the goldfish are, or where, you know, the apple juice, the apple sauce squeeze things, and we just have never done that. I think it's a ripoff. I don't think it's a good habit, so we don't do snacks at our house. And napkins. We just have cloth napkins that we use since we don't have paper towels or the pre-packaged ones. We do use paper napkins in our car, so whenever we get food out somewhere or takeout, whatever ones are in the bag, we'll just put in the car, and that's been a pretty good revolving door of things we don't have to buy but still can utilize. Kitchen towels. This is my big with paper towels one, and cleaning rags. So I don't buy any of these. When our bed sheets run out, which we use linen bed sheets, I will cut these up and these pillowcases up into squares, or try to cut them into squares, and then I run them through the dryer and the washer a few times and trim the threads. And that, you can make your own size, you can make your own shape. They're very absorbent. They look kind of cool. I like that they kind of have a lived-in feel. You can also, ours are always kind of a light tan color, and so if there's coffee stains or any other stains, you can't really tell. We just throw them in the wash with the rest of the stuff unless they're super grody. But other than that, I use a few a day. I have a ton of them, and I just go through them probably, I would say I buy new sheets once a year, once every other year, and that is when I go through the new towels and when I cut the new towels. So it is kind of a process, but I haven't had to buy towels in 4 years, and I don't mind that they're not the cutest. I think they're better to be functional over not. But these are my 21 things I no longer buy. I know that some of them are a bit controversial. I'm kind of curious on people's opinions and how people think they could live with these things not being purchases, or why these things must be purchases for them. I'm curious on other people's opinions, so let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye.